Hey planner friends! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be planning from the 1st to the 7th of August in my medium passion planner. Let's get started! So the kit that I'm using this week is Theatre from Plannerface, and not only was this kit perfect because we were going to the theatre this week, but we went to see Les Mis, so the colours in this kit are perfect for that as well. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use my code in the description to save yourselves a little bit of money and also mention me for a freebie. As always, I'm starting with the pen base of my spread, so I've shaded in the parts of the timelines where I'm going to be asleep, and then I've gone in with my Grey Stabilo fine liner to mark in my alarm times, split my personal and work to do checkboxes in half to give myself a little bit of extra checklist space, and also created a 5-day habit tracker for things I have to do at work pretty much every single day. For this spread, I'm not using my August theme colour, I'm using a slightly different pen, so this is still a passion highlighter, but it's in the colour Sky from the Essentials pack, and that's just because the blues in this kit weren't quite as turquoise as the turquoise colour that I'm using for the rest of August. So I've just used the fine liner side to mark in my work hours, and now I'm using my Pilot Friction pen to write in all of my meals for the week. So breakfast, lunch and dinner for pretty much every day, except the weekend when I don't have an alarm set. I won't add in breakfast just in case I have a little sleep in. Once I've got all of my meals written in for the week, I can highlight over those using my passion marker, and I'm also going to highlight over the checklists in the bottom left hand corner and colour in the daily focus boxes of the days where I'm not going to be at work. I'm quite happy to be back using a chisel tip pen as my theme colour for the month, just because using my Crayola super tips I don't find that I get as consistent of a line when I'm highlighting, but I find the chisel tip of a passion highlighter fits pretty much perfectly within the lines on the timelines. Also, because this is a new passion highlighter, the chisel tip is really sharp still, so I'm getting some nice straight lines in this spread. So that's pretty much it for my pen base. Now I can start adding in some stickers, and as always I'm starting with my meal plan tracker, which is just something that I make in Excel and print off on sticker paper myself. I'm then adding in the squared off half box with some deco from the kit into the weekly focus box, and finishing off my sidebar with a habit tracker and a full box from the kit over the quote section. Next I can add in my washi headers, and I love the kind of terrazzo pattern of this washi, so I've cut one of the 15mm strips in half to cover my Space of Infinite Possibility header and my personal and work to-do list headers, and then I've cut another 6mm chunk from the second piece of washi to create my extra gratitude header in the bottom left hand corner. Then I can just add in my weekend banner and we can get into my planning for the week. So zooming in and starting on Monday, I'm first using a skinny event label from the kit to mark in that I was duty scientist this day. We had pretty much no one in the office all week, so I was covering a lot more than I usually do. And then Monday evening was the reason that I'm using this kit for this week, so I'm using a patterned half box from the kit with the Les Mis programme deco sticker that came on one of the little add-on sheets to mark in that this was the day we were going to see Les Mis at the Hippodrome. So this was the 5th time that I've seen Les Mis, but I went with a couple of friends who hadn't seen the show at all before, so it was really exciting to see their reactions to the first time seeing it as well. Because the show is 3 hours long, I knew that there was a little bit of extra space after my half box where we would actually still be in the theatre, so I'm just using a bit of glitter header to kind of fill in that space. Then we can move on to Tuesday, where I'm using a glitter header in the daily focus box to mark that I was working from home, and when I have more work from home scripts I will add one of those in. And then I'm using one of my Pinky Stickers printables to mark in my first weight session of the week. I'll remember to add my leg day script onto that sticker in a minute. Next on Tuesday I'm using a fancy label with some deco from the kit and a voiceover script from Plannerface to mark in that I wanted to record my voiceover for my August monthly this day. Moving on to Wednesday, I'm first using a little thing and some deco from the kit to mark in that I was covering the action tray at work this day. And then I'm using a quarter box with the laptop doodle from the kit to mark in my usual Wednesday afternoon seminar. This seminar was so maths based that I really struggled with it because maths is not my strong point, but my brain was just mush by the end of it. So once I got over my brain turning to mush, I happily drove home from work, and for Wednesday evening, the first thing I'm marking in using a bit of the Monday to Sunday box that I've cut up with a YouTube button icon from Ickle & Co and an upload script from Plannerface was uploading my August monthly. I'm then marking in my yoga class using my Pinky Stickers printable, and we can flip over to the second half of the week where I'm first using another glitter header in the daily focus box of Thursday to mark in that I was working from home, and then marking in pull day using another Pinky Stickers printable and Plannerface script. On Thursday I also wanted to dye my hair, so I'm using a stick with the Planco girl with a flag from the kit to mark that in. Moving on to Friday, I'm first using a third box with the telephone doodle from the kit to mark in a meeting that we had, and then I'm going to use an event label with a Joy of Planning scientist girl to mark in that I was duty scientist again this day. There was only 2 of us in the office on Friday out of a team of what's supposed to be 8, so it was quite busy, but at least that meant that the day went quite quickly. I then knew that I wasn't going to fit anything between those 2 events, so I'm just adding in a bit of glitter header to fill in the space. For Friday evening, I'm just adding in a Pinky Stickers printable for my cardio session, and then we can move on to Saturday, where I'm first using a third box with some deco from the kit and an edit script from Plannerface to mark in editing and recording this voiceover. Because this deco is quite large, I decided to trim it so the bottom of the deco finished at the same point as the bottom of the box, and I really like how that looks. I think I did it a couple times throughout the week as well, because the deco in this kit was a bit chunky. I'm then using the flag and the planner doodle from the kit with a planning script from Plannerface to mark in my planning time before editing and recording my voiceover. Moving on to Saturday afternoon, I'm using one of the squished half boxes from the kit to mark in my weightlifting class. So this was my second weightlifting class and I really enjoyed this one as well. I started pushing myself a little bit more, which I didn't do last week because I was just kind of getting the hang of it. I'm marking that in using a Joy of Planning weightlifting girl. I'm then using a half box with some deco from the kit to mark in whatever we get up to on Saturday evening, which actually ended up being going to the pub, which was quite nice. Then we can move on to Sunday, and I'm using a 3-heart checklist box from the kit with the vacuum doodle to mark in my usual chunk of time for cleaning, and then I'm using a fancy label with the grocery doodle from the kit to mark in my click and collect order. For Saturday afternoon, I'm using another Pinky Stickers printable to mark in my push day, and then I'm going to mark in uploading this video in the same way that I marked my upload on Wednesday. So that's my plans for the week. Now I can go back in and add in some decorative boxes from the kit to fill in the space when I'm at work. So I had to use the double box scene from this kit, which is this view of a theatre. So I've trimmed these stickers down vertically on the sticker paper, and then I'm trimming them horizontally on my planner. And I really like how the decorative boxes look with the timeline down the middle. I know not everyone likes how that looks, but because I trim all of my stickers to fit around the timelines, I think it would look weirder if I kind of covered any of the timeline up really. I'm then also using a flat lay to cover up some of the space on Thursday when I'm at work, and then we can add in all of my checklists. So because this kit is in the new mini kit format from Plannerface, it doesn't have any of these checklists in anymore, so I've just gone back through my stash and my leftovers pile to look for any checklists that match the colour in this kit, and I think I managed to match them pretty well again. But that is it for stickers. Now we can go back in and fill in all of my plans as usual using my Pilot friction pen. So at the beginning of this week, I was super worried about work this week because there were so many people on annual leave that we were like really short-staffed, and I was like, oh, it's going to be such a slog, it's going to be intense at work. But actually, because we kind of just resigned ourselves to the fact that it was going to be busy and things weren't going to get done, it actually kind of went pretty quickly because we were just constantly having to do stuff. There was no like moment to be like, oh, I don't know what to do next. So because it was just constant, work went really quickly this week, and I feel like this week just disappeared from under me, which I really didn't expect because the week before annual leave is always the slowest week that you're going to ever experience. But yeah, Les Mis on Monday was incredible, and that was a really amazing way to start the week. Like the touring cast that's going around the UK at the moment, if you can go see them, do it because they're incredible. I then had like a fairly productive week, but also made plenty of time for rest and Sims, which, you know, are my 2 favourite things. And then this weekend again, I went to my new weightlifting class for the second time, and this is where I've kind of started pushing myself a little bit. Like the first week I was just getting used to the like layout of the class and how everything was set up and getting some really good technical feedback on my lifts. But this week, because I'd had that technical feedback and I've been kind of like practicing it during the week, I could really start pushing myself with some heavier weights. So that was really fun. I'm really glad that I've kind of got out of my comfort zone and tried something new, because I don't think I would have done this if I hadn't had that little push. The rest of the weekend has been pretty chill just because I don't have to rush to get back to work on Monday because I'm on annual leave for all of next week, which I'm super excited about. And then I think on Sunday evening we're going to treat ourselves to dinner out and the cinema, which will be really exciting because I'm pretty sure I haven't been to the cinema since before the pandemic. Like I might have been once since then, but the last film I remember seeing at the cinema was Jojo Rabbit, and I know that that was January 2020. So for my weekly focus this week, I put 1 week more because at the beginning of this week it was 1 week until I went on annual leave, and also a little play on 1 day more from Les Mis. Obviously, I had to include a pun somewhere in this spread. But that is it for my pre-planning. Let's take a look at the finished spread. So here is the spread all filled out, and I really like how this one has turned out. I don't think I've done a spread where it's basically just 2 colours like blue and red before, but I think it looks really cute. And it's not often that the pictures in my reflection section perfectly fit the colour scheme of the kit that I've used that week. So that's everything for this video, friends. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!